First the hospital, then Mystery Mountain, Coal Town. What next?
Well, my guess is he'll try to contact Van Gelder.
He's not even due back for a day or two.
Till then, it's anybody's guess where they're both going to turn up next.
I wish they'd pick poor Charles. I really do. Then I could help him. Can't help him if I can't find him.
Well, until they contact us, there's not much either of us can do.
Stop.
Yes, speaking. Right. I'm coming over. Well, we may not be able to help Luke and Holly, but perhaps we can unravel the mess from this end.
Something come up?
Yeah, they're pictures of the reconstructed fingerprints.
Finally.
Finally. Now, maybe we can discover what's going on around here.
Something's happened.
Oliver knows what he's doing.
Yeah, that's what worries me.
He won't hurt Holly.
You know, without her, you can't touch the money.
We, Charles, remember? The family?
Holly is my family.
If you were half as concerned about business matters as you are about personal ones, we might not be in this predicament.
Yet if Holly weren't on point for this operation, we wouldn't have gotten as far as we have.
We've achieved nothing. We're no closer to the money now than when we started. We still have to wait for Holly and then wait for that damn check to be signed. Oh. Hello?
It's Oliver.
Where are you?
In Rochester.
Have you made contact?
Yes, I found them.
Both Holly and Spencer?
They're here, or rather they were.
What do you mean?
She escaped before I could get to her.
You let her get away? Where are they now?
If I knew that, I'd be there. They've escaped. I'm coming home.
Here.
Oh, no. This is a garage. I don't think anybody's going to look in the garage. They probably think we're already far gone from here.
So we sit here and wait till dark?
Holly, you won't be bored.
What are you talking about?
I'm going to ask questions. And you, no doubt, are going to tap dance. How does that sound?
Do I have a choice?
What was all that about?
It was an accident.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I saw. Your coffee fairly flew out of the cup and into that gentleman's lap.
It slipped.
Who is he? Why is he following us? Why did you have to get away from him? What does he have to do with us? Been in this town nearly 2 hours, maybe more. So far, I haven't gotten an answer to a question yet that I can even remotely enjoy, let alone believe.
It's not important.
Why don't you let me decide that?
It had nothing to do with this. Look, I'm tired. Please help me go now.
Poor baby. You're skating around the answers. You know what I want to know? I want to know about that guy. And we're not going anywhere until I find out. Is he the one that you called from the hotel? Is he your sick friend? He looked awfully healthy to me, at least. He looked healthy until you offered him coffee without a cup.
I should have thrown it in his face.
Why?
He's been following me.
Who is he?
He's an old boyfriend. I broke up with him just before you and I met.
I take it the breakup was not a mutual decision.
He took it pretty hard. He became obsessed with me. Everywhere I go, he seems to appear. I don't know what he wants.
You don't know what he wants. Well, I'll tell you one thing. You must have sort of inside information, Holly, because either that or he's magic. He's a sorcerer. He's a wizard. How did he know we were going to be here?
Maybe he followed us.
Half the Port Charles Police Department can't keep up with us. I can't even keep up with us. Is your ex-boyfriend a spy? Does he have inside information? Otherwise, he could have never tailed us now if he knew where to come. How?
I have no idea. Why don't you ask him?
Maybe I will if I can find him.
No, wait, Luke.
Why not, Holly? Perhaps he and I can compare notes. Does he know any more about you than I do?
He'll hurt you.
He's a jealous type?
He's vicious and he doesn't forgive easily.
If he can't have you, nobody can.
This isn't funny. Luke, believe me. If he catches us, he's going to do something terrible to both of us.
Try again, baby.
He had her in the same room and he let her go.
Simmer down, Basil. You exhaust me going on like this.
If Oliver can't stop an inexperienced girl, he's in the wrong business.
I'm certain that Holly will ditch Spencer as soon as she gets a chance.
Well, what do you call meeting Oliver? If she wanted to get away, that was the perfect opportunity.
Well, Spencer might have been too close to her.
Or she to him.
Well, Holly will come back as soon as she's able. That may not be soon enough.
Well, what can we do?
Since we don't seem to be able to bring her back, we have to prepare for her arrival.
Well, how do we do that?
We must be ready to withdraw the money immediately upon her return.
Whenever that is.
Yes? When? You sure? We'll have to take care of it from this end.
What?
Another failure. It seems to be catching.
What?
That was our CID contact from London. And his pictures of possible suspects. Of fingerprints, matching fingerprints, have been sent to the FBI here. And a picture of Charles got through.
Oh. If someone who knows Charles finds those pictures, we're finished.
I'm telling you, I've been fed some tall tales, but this is the worst.
Would I make up something like that?
An ex-boyfriend who just happens to show up at a geologist's funeral in Rochester.
I told you, he's obsessed.
Yeah, well, he's also got better connections in the FBI to be able to track us here, baby.
He's used to getting what he wants.
So am I. So am I. Now, the first thing I want is a better reason for him to be following us around than to keep in touch with you.
You don't think I'm worth the trouble?
After all you've put me through, you know the answer to that.
I thought I did.
Holly, you fed me a line. You fed me a line, and I'm sorry. It was a bad one, even for a pro. I don't buy it.
Luke, what is it that you want of me?
For starters, I want a better reason for this guy to follow us here than unrequited love.
Already told.
All right, whatever he was after, it has nothing to do with unrequited love. Nothing to do with it. And I'm going to find out exactly what it is. And you are going to be right by my side.
What kept you?
My contact was in conference. I had to wait.
Did you get the pictures?
With the familiar face, if we're lucky.
Really, let's have a look. Anything?
Not at first glance.
How come there's what? 11 pictures? I thought there'd be 100 of them.
Yeah, well, Les Ferguson reconstructed the basics of those prints and what Dan gave him. Now, I put them into groups. Hang on. This, and this. These 4 here were labeled Group A. The rest I labeled Group B. Now, what's happened is that the primary characteristics have been matched by computer with the CID fingerprint records.
So these are in addition to the pictures we already looked at, the ones that had the criminal records?
Yeah, but these, of course, are non-criminal.
Right, boss, where do you want this box?
Put it behind the bar, mate.
Ready? All ready for the big opening tonight?
Ready as I'll ever be.
A lot of people are looking forward to tonight's shindig. I tell you, most of them are friends of yours and Luke's, but there's a few that are coming out of morbid curiosity.
You'll be hopping tonight, Blackie.
Yeah, well, that's good, because I need the bucks.
You're going to earn them.
Well, that's my job. All right, what else you want me to do around here? Anything?
Yeah. Check out the ice machine. Make sure it's working at peak capacity.
It is.
You've done it already?
And one step ahead of you, boss.
Give it up, pal. You'll be running the joint.
Okay, I'm ready right now.
All right. We're going to need another parking attendant.
Well, I can handle it.
Not from in here, you can't. You'll be co-hosting with Tiffany.
Cool, promotion. Hey, do I get a raise?
We'll see how well you do.
Yeah, well, you won't be disappointed, man. I could charm the socks off of anybody, even Joe. Right, Joey?
That's not what I hear from the co-eds. How are things at college?
That's not so good.
How's life with the Webbers?
That's worse.
Ooh, sounds like somebody's got an attitude problem.
Everybody else has the attitude problem. I ain't got no attitude problem.
Just give the world a chance. You
I
might
ain't.
like it.
Yeah, well, I'm not holding my breath.
Good, because this is going to take it right away.
Oh, my word.
Woo! You like?
Wow.
Incredible.
Unbelievable.
Oh, then it's unanimous. This is the dress for tonight.
Well, at least we won't have to worry about the entertainment.
Yeah, well, how am I going to concentrate with my beautiful little co-host looking this good?
I wouldn't worry about it too much, old boy. I don't think anybody's going to be looking at you.
Oh, my goodness, a girl could get spoiled listening to you three.
Well, you
I love
deserve it, sweetheart. You've earned it.
Thank you, darling. I just wish Luke and Holly could be here to help us.
Yeah, I'm sure they wish the same thing.
Wherever they are.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, why don't you guys pull up a seat and take a look at these pictures?
Here you are, dear.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let's see. No, I ain't seen none of these guys before. I would have remembered if I saw some of these mugs.
What about you, Tiffany?
No, actually, I don't. But, some of them do have potential.
Sure.
I'm not running a dating service here.
Too bad, darling. With Noah gone, I could definitely use the company.
Sure.
Wow, I'm always available.
Oh, I know. Precious
Very available.
baby.
So, wonderful. Another dead end.
Not necessarily.
What, do you know something that none of the rest of us do?
That's just it. We don't know who we're looking for.
Fine, so how in the heck do we go about it?
We stick at it, because something is bound to break.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your coming over.
Anything you need, just call me, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Ken. Mrs. Van Gelder? Oh, Miss Holly. We thought you'd burned yourself the way you rushed out of here.
I didn't mean to make a scene.
Oh, sorry. We were worried about you. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm okay. I just had to go and clean up, and I was a bit upset, so we went for a walk. I do apologize.
I can understand that. I feel like disappearing myself.
Mrs. Van Gelder, you see, we're in a bit of trouble. We were hoping that you could help.
Now I recognize you. It was in the papers. You kidnapped her.
No, not exactly.
No, it wasn't like that. As I explained on the telephone, the media blew it all out of proportion.
I know this is a horrible time. We need some help.
Oh, I'm sorry. Perhaps in a few weeks, all right? Thank you.
Mrs. Van Gelder, I can't wait. And you're the only person that we can talk to and turn to.
But I thought I'd answered all the
Please.
questions. All right, come in.
I came to see your husband. There were some questions that I needed to ask him. Perhaps you can answer them.
Oh, I know so little about geology. I think you better consult an expert.
No, you don't understand. The questions that I have are not technical. They have more to do with your husband than with his work. Are you absolutely sure that he didn't have any job in Port Charles? Anything to do with a geological survey?
No, I told you he had an appointment with someone about an oil survey.
The appointment was with me.
You?
Yes, I set it up.
Did you have anything to do with what happened?
What do you mean?
Oh, it was so bizarre.
I don't understand.
Well, someone played a terrible prank on my husband. We can never understand why.
I'm not following you. What do you mean?
My husband received an anonymous call just before his appointment with you, and that someone told him that I'd been injured in a car accident.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
But then you called shortly after that to break your appointment with him, so my husband thought that you were involved in the prank.
No, Mrs. Van Gelder, I did not cancel my appointment with your husband. Nor did I have anything to do with a prank. Apparently, I've been set up.
Didn't I tell you? Well, I certainly didn't expect you back so soon.
I was lucky. I got good plane connections.
Well, you've done better to stay there and try and find Holly.
You'd have done no better, Basil. As a matter of fact, you might have fared considerably worse given your recent bungling.
Meaning?
You had your chance at the hospital. Luke and Holly eluded you pretty easily there, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, there's no comparison. There was no way I could get them.
Well, it was the same for me, exactly. I was working with no backup or help of any kind. I hardly expected Holly to pour hot coffee all over me in order to make her escape. I thought she was on our side.
Apparently Charles's daughter has ideas of her own.
Yes, and so have I. Which is that her loyalty, or I should say lack of it, is no longer a matter of conjecture.
Holly's obviously working against us.
In the future, we shall have to deny Holly any special considerations as a member of the family. She will be given no special privileges.
Well, the operation comes first at all costs.
It's so much easier if we could just write her off altogether.
Now, what about the money?
Well, until Holly signs that check, she must be tolerated, even protected. But she needn't know any more than she already does. And remember, gentlemen, violence must be avoided in this family. Excuse me.
Well, what are we going to do about Charles? His attitude is no better than Holly's.
Perhaps. But we must still let him think that he can be trusted.
Yes, well, why bother?
We need Charles to keep his daughter in line. And one assurance that Holly will cooperate is the presence of her father. He must believe he's important as ever to our plans.
That reminds me. I've made arrangements for you and Charles to meet with Sean Valley tomorrow at the bank.
Yes. I must persuade him that there is nothing unusual about withdrawing Holly's entire corporate account in cash. Valley has to think this is a normal Corso procedure.
Oliver, welcome.
Ah, hello, Charles. How are you feeling?
Just tell me about Holly. How does she look?
Very healthy and seemingly quite content to be with Spencer.
Good. He expected as much. Of course. Holly is obviously playing along with Spencer, waiting for the right moment to escape.
Of course.
What? You don't believe it?
Not when she could so easily have walked away with me. Spencer wouldn't have been able to lift a finger. All she had to do was say the word. But her little accident showed most eloquently where her true allegiance lies.
You misinterpreted what you saw.
I don't think so.
Look, you're wasting your time even discussing it. It's not going to bring Holly back any sooner. Charles, I think you should go and take a rest. We're going to need you fresh and relaxed if you're going to be of any use to us.
Well, I suppose I am a bit tense. But you have no reason to worry about me. When it gets to the point, I'll do my part.
We're counting on you, Charles. Well, Charles, doesn't seem to be any problem. Unfortunately, his photograph is.
Scorpio must have it already.
We can only assume he hasn't yet made the connection. But it's only a matter of time. Got to get that picture before he recognizes Charles. The question is how.
Well, they're reopening the Star tonight. If nothing else, would give us an opportunity to get close to Scorpio. Perhaps we should just drop in on their little festivities and, well, take it from there.
And what about Spencer?
There's no doubt his next move will be to find Harper.
There, you see, my husband wasn't in Port Charles on that date, not for an oil survey or any other reason.
Apparently not.
So I'm afraid that the man you talked to wasn't my husband.
Mrs. Van Gelder, do you know a man named Harper?
Well, yes, Mr. Harper's a colleague of my husband's, and he's a fine geologist and very well respected by his peers. Why, you don't think he's involved in this, do you?
Well, yes, I do. It could be innocently, of course. We had a meeting with Mr. Harper. At least someone who said he was Mr. Harper, and he seconded your husband's opinion. I mean, the opinion of the imposter. It's very confusing.
I'm sorry. What's this all about?
Look, I wish I knew, Mrs. Van Gelder. Right now, I'm just poking around in the dark. I'm trying to come up with something that makes sense. Do you know if this Harper had been in trouble of any kind?
What do you mean, with the law?
Anything that might make him do something or say something that he wouldn't ordinarily do.
Oh, no, he was a fine man. The only problems he's ever had have been personal.
Well, what is that? I mean, what kind of personal problems?
Well, I think that's private, don't you think so?
No, not in this case. If he's under pressure, he might then do something, say something that he wouldn't do under any other circumstances.
Well, he had a run of bad luck with the stock market, and he lost all of his money and most of his wife's, so she left him, and he fell apart. The last time I saw him, he seemed pretty good, but I've told that he's still at loose ends.
And ripe for plucking.
Pardon me?
It seems that this would make him a prime candidate for someone who would want to exchange money or security in order to have him do something he wouldn't ordinarily do.
Do you mean bribery? No, Mr. Harper wouldn't.
Did your husband have a history of heart trouble?
No, he was in excellent health. Why?
Because maybe he didn't die of a heart attack.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I believe you should have an autopsy done on your husband's body. It may prove something surprising.
General Hospital will continue in a moment.